We have more cancellation news, but there may be a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel as Florida task forces begin to set procedures for reopening, and international Disney parks begin to test fireworks and reopen character meals. Here's all the latest news on DFV Guide. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. We've sure got a whole lot of Disney news and tons of new merch to cover this week. Both Florida and California governors have begun to weigh in on when we can expect to return to Disney World and Disneyland, while the Chinese Disney parks move closer to a potential reopening. Plus, we've got a whole bunch of Star Wars news to help you celebrate May the 4th. So let's get started though with news for those of you with Disney trips coming soon. More Disney reservations have been canceled. Disney World is continuing to notify guests that their upcoming trips will be impacted by the park closures on a week-by-week basis. Notifications are now being sent out to guests who had bookings during the week of May 17th through 23rd, 2020. Guests are instructed to modify or cancel their reservations, though if you take no action by your original check-in date, your trip will automatically be canceled and refunded. Those with reservations through May 23rd are now eligible to rebook with the private free dining offer that's been extended to those with trips affected by the cancellation. The free dining offer is good for reservation dates June 1st to September 30th. Guests who had bookings at Disneyland from May 17th through 23rd are also being notified of the closure extension and are being offered a special room discount through the end of December 2020 when they rebook. More Disney Cruise Line sailings have been canceled in the interest of safety and in response to an extension of the no-sail order issued for cruise ships by the CDC. Disney Cruise Line is canceling further sailings into this summer. The new cancellations extend to departures through June 18th, impacting the Bahamian and Caribbean sailings for the Disney Dream and Disney Fantasy, and additional sailings through July 2nd for the European itineraries for the Disney Magic. Disney Cruise Line is offering cruise line guests whose sailings have been affected the choice of 125% future cruise credit to be used for a future sailing within 15 months of their original sail date, or a full refund. The Florida governor is pushing to reopen the state right now. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis announced that starting May 4th, Florida would slowly begin to reopen businesses, including retail stores and restaurants, in what he's referring to as Phase 1. During Phase 1, Florida restaurants and shops will be able to reopen with an indoor occupancy of 25%. Restaurants will also be allowed to offer outdoor seating with 6 feet of spacing between tables. Elective surgeries will also resume, though schools will continue practicing distance learning, while no visitors in long-term care or senior living facilities will be permitted until rapid testing is more readily available. Larger venues, such as movie theaters, will not open in Phase 1. Gyms, bars, and hair salons will also stay closed during Phase 1 in Florida. On Thursday, the reopened Florida Task Force, which includes Disney World President Josh D'Amaro, submitted a recommended timeline to the governor's office. During Phase 1, theme parks should remain closed, but in Phase 2, theme parks may consider reopening with limited capacity, strict social distancing, and proper measures to clean and disinfect. And in Phase 3, theme parks would return to normal operations with limited social distancing protocols. This task force meets weekly to discuss potential updates and reopening protocol, and it's important to note that these are ongoing discussions, and Governor DeSantis has so far not weighed in on when theme parks may reopen. The governor's office has opened an online portal for Florida residents to give feedback on reopening procedures and health precautions, and you can find more info how to do that over at DisneyFoodBlog.com. Orange County Task Force weighs in on reopening. Conversations on economic reopening are taking place on both the state and county levels, and we've been following all the latest updates coming out of Orange County, Florida, that Economic Recovery Task Force meeting. It's weird because Disney World is in Orange County, Florida. Disneyland is in Orange County, California. So this is the Florida one we're talking about. It's one of 2 counties where Disney World is located. The local task force is offering more specific guidelines to potentially be put in place by Orange County businesses, including Disney World, which under their designation is considered a large theme park. Proposed guidelines for the large theme parks include tape markings designating guests to stand 6 feet apart in queues and workers to regularly wipe surfaces at random. It is also suggested that vulnerable populations, guests 65 and older for instance, would remain home in phases 1 and 2 of reopening. Now remember, all of these are just suggestions. These are not set in stone. Nobody has agreed to these. They're just jumping off points for Orange County businesses reopening. Other suggestions: park employees may be required to wear face masks and have their temperature taken before each shift. Touchless hand sanitizer is suggested to be available at each ticket entry and turnstile, as well as every ride entrance and exit. A wipe down of railings and surfaces is proposed to take place after each use, and large theme parks under these potential mandates would operate at 50% capacity during Phase 1, 75% during Phase 2. Restaurant mandates may include hand sanitizer at every table, and the possibility of disposable menus might be encouraged. Capacity suggestions are similar to theme parks: 50% during Phase 1, 75% during Phase 2, with a suggestion of tables placed 6 feet apart specific to restaurants. Now, if you're super confused about these Phase 1s and Phase 2s and how we said it's 25% in Phase 1 here and 50% in Phase 1 there, just remember these are two different sets of proposed guidelines. One is for the county, Orange County, and one is for the state. So I get how it can get confusing. Right now, the state is saying that Disney World would not be able to open under their proposed guidelines until Phase 2. So it's pretty confusing, but we have all the information is on Disney Food Blog. It's all listed very clearly there. So hopefully that's helpful. Now back to those Orange County guidelines. It's possible that Florida hotels, including the Disney World resorts, could institute sneeze guards at check-in counters and the removal of coffee makers, coffee cups, glassware, and minibar contents from rooms. Again, just a proposed idea, not something that's confirmed yet, so don't worry. Disney Senior Vice President of Resort and Transportation Operations, Thomas Maslam, serves on the Orange County Task Force and clarified these are a starting point for the conversation and do not constitute the recommendations for the reopening of Walt Disney World, which have not yet been revealed. Mayor of Orange County Jerry Demings commented that theme parks will likely be able to start reopening with smaller components of their business, small operating units as part of the larger unit, and ramp up to where the parks themselves will open. Mayor Demings has further stated theme parks and other venues of that magnitude shall each develop their own specific and unique set of guidelines following CDC recommendations and using best practices that will protect the life, health, and safety of their employees and guests. They will be permitted to open at their own discretion with their internally determined level of safe capacities throughout the various spaces. The task force has also bounced around the idea that reopening should be based on the ability of the business to innovate, quote unquote, and adapt to health and safety guidelines, as opposed to the type of business. Overall, it does seem that Orange County will defer to theme park leaders on when the parks will reopen. California governor presents his 4-stage plan. Governor Newsom, together with the California Department of Health director, presented a 4-stage roadmap for California's reopening. Stage 1 reflects the current stage for California as stay-at-home orders remain in place. Stage 2, which the Orange County Register quoted as quote-unquote weeks away, would permit lower-risk places of work, including retail, offices, and schools, to reopen with adaptations. Stage 3, which may be months away, quote-unquote, would include the reopening of businesses and gatherings classified as higher risk, where close contact is likely to occur. This would include gyms, theaters, and salons. Stage 4 would see the reopening of events classified as highest risk, including concerts and live audience sports among the examples. Disneyland and California's other theme parks would fall into Stage 4, with the possibility of reopening in Stage 3 if strict public safety measures were enacted. So right now, California and Florida have very, very, very different ideas of when their theme parks would be able to open. So it's going to be an interesting thing to watch to see what happens. We'll continue to follow all of the latest news coming from both Florida and California in regards to reopening of state businesses. And you can get all the latest updates, including how they relate to the Disney parks, over at DisneyFoodBlog.com or by signing up for our newsletter. All right, the Disney parks in China are moving closer to reopening. Shanghai Disneyland remains closed at this time, though shopping and dining have reopened along with the Shanghai Disneyland Hotel. Last week, we reported that Shanghai Park was testing new park entrance procedures, but this week it seems that they're testing fireworks as well. We're hoping this means fireworks shows will start again once Shanghai Disneyland reopens, but Disney hasn't made an official statement yet. In Disney's Hong Kong park, character dining has resumed at the Enchanted Garden in the Hong Kong Disneyland Hotel. This is a promising indicator that character meals will be returning to the U.S. Disney parks when they reopen, but again, we don't have anything confirmed. Ample Hills may be rescued by Ben and Jerry's. Back in March, we heard the news that the beloved ice cream shop you'll find at Disney World's Boardwalk, along with other locations around the country, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. According to Eater and Ample Hills co-founders, 26 companies have shown interest in purchasing the ice cream company, including Unilever, which are the owners of Ben & Jerry's, and Focus Brands, the parent company of Cinnabon and Auntie Anne's. The sale is scheduled for June of this year, and Ample Hills plans to open more locations in New York City and in Disney Springs. Marvel Studios releases more date changes. We'd previously learned that films like Jungle Cruise, Mulan, and Black Widow were having their release dates pushed back, but now Marvel Studios has added more films to that list. Spider-Man 3, which was originally scheduled for a July 2021 release, has been bumped back to November 5th, 2021. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is now set to premiere 4 months later than expected on March 25th, 2022. Finally, we'll get to see Thor: Love and Thunder a week earlier because the release date has been moved back from February 18th to February 11th, 2022. But AMC theaters will remain closed until the next big release. It seems that those AMC theaters may not reopen as soon as federal guidelines allow. Instead, the major movie theater chain has stated they will remain closed until the first big blockbuster of the summer is released. The first big releases will be Tenet, an action thriller from Warner Brothers, on July 17th, as well as Disney's Mulan on July 24th. Now, to celebrate May the 4th, the latest Star Wars film, Rise of Skywalker, will be released on Disney+, meaning all 9 films of the Star Wars saga will be on the streaming platform. May 4th, 2020 will also deliver the debut of a new documentary series about The Mandalorian and the finale of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. And in some surprising Disney at-home news, it seems that some of you living in Alabama might be able to get some Galaxy's Edge Coke products at your local Tate supermarket. Diet Coke, Sprite, and Coke are all options that are available in the store, and if you happen to live in the area, you can snag a 12-pack of the thermal detonators for $6.99, which is basically what you're going to spend for one of them in the Disney parks. Even though the parks are closed, you can still catch performances of parades and fireworks from around the world as well. The newest addition is the Disneyland Paris Welcome to Spring Parade. You'll find it on the Disneyland Paris YouTube channel. Adventures by Disney has released the Adventures at Home series that includes an at-home itinerary to help you feel like you've traveled to other destinations. First up, Montana, which includes some stargazing tips, games for you to play with the family, and a recipe for Mickey s'mores. If you're looking for a new phone or computer background, Disney PhotoPass has released complimentary photos of Magic Kingdom's Happily Ever After fireworks to download for free. In merchandise news, Disney face masks have hit the market. Shop Disney's just released face masks available for pre-order. The cloth masks come in packs of 4, and there are collections featuring Star Wars, Pixar princesses, classic Mickey and Minnie, and character face prints. The masks come in several sizes, and they're expected to be available beginning June 29th. Disney is donating all profits up to $1 million to MedShare. Celebrate May the 4th with new Star Wars merch. Shop Disney has released some adorable new Baby Yoda tees and tanks for women and kids, along with a pullover hoodie. There's also some silly graphic tees for the whole family, including R2-D2 falling in love with a trash can, Darth Vader pruning a tree to look like the Death Star, and more. Her Universe has also released 2 new shirts, the Ahsoka color block tee and the black long sleeve Order 66 sweatshirt. Both can be found on the Her Universe website. May 4th would also bring a brand new designer ear to Shop Disney. Ashley Eckstein and Her Universe are releasing Ahsoka ears at 10 a.m. Eastern. The Lokai brand of bracelets has released a new Star Wars line, plus purchases of the bracelets will help to support the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Each of the new bracelets is $22, and for each bracelet sold, Lokai will donate $1 to Make-A-Wish. Many more new Star Wars items will be released on Shop Disney on May the 4th, including mugs, tees, magnets, Lego sets, and more. Many items will likely sell out fast, so if you're a big fan looking to score some new Star Wars merch, be ready to go when the new merch goes live at 7 a.m. on May 4th. Alright, we've got some new Alex and Ani bracelets to tell you about. Alex and Ani has released several new bracelets to Shop Disney, including the Cinderella bracelet, which comes complete with its own glass slipper charm. The Little Mermaid bracelet features Flounder, and there are 2 Pocahontas bracelets, one with Miko and one with Pocahontas herself as the main charm. All the bracelets are going for $44.99. And finally, there's some new Loungefly merch. The newest Disney and Loungefly collection is combining two of our favorite things, ice cream and Disney princesses. The collection features a backpack and purse covered with ice cream cones designed to look like Disney princesses. And Loungefly is also releasing new pins every Tuesday through the month of May. These pins are limited release and they sell out fast. The limited edition Cinderella 70th anniversary pin sold out within just a few hours. So that's all the latest and all the updates from Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, and around the Disney World. As always, thank you guys for listening. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to sign up for our Disney Food Blog newsletter. It's completely free and we give you all the information, all the news, all the latest details right in there a few times a week. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog and we'll see you real soon.